Morning, everybody. Just give everybody a couple of seconds to get everything activated here. All right. Welcome to Guy Atchison's Reinventing the Tattoo Community, a place for tattooers, apprentices, and collectors to unite under all things tattoo. We encourage that you join in these live stream events and real world events where we offer a new option with connecting with each other for the better. From developing your art to getting down to the technical with your skills, surrounded by like-minded peers, you can see us beaming out with events every day from live tattooing to drawing groups and one-on-one sessions. I want to thank everyone joining in from YouTube, Facebook, or Vimeo, and special shout out to anyone listening via podcast. Our event schedule and notifications can be found on the free Reinventing the Tattoo app via Apple or Google Play, or directly online at community.reinventingthetattoo.com. All these episodes can be found on demand in the folders section. If you can hear us, be sure to tag us and a friend who may benefit from this experience and knowledge as well as yourself. We here at Reinventing the Tattoo are beaming out to 5 channels 24/7. If you go to reinventing247.com, you can enter to win a free goodie bag that has some gifts from Raw, Cheyenne, and Dallas Pro. For those who don't know, we have several shows, including this one. We have Sunday at 1 p.m. with Jason Leeser. Sunday, 9 p.m. is a Tattoo Weekly with Gabe, Lauren, and Jake Meeks of Fireside. Monday morning at 9 a.m., here with me at the drawing group, Kier Franklin. 9 p.m. Monday with Guy Atchison is his one-on-one class. Where you guys go over basically just different subjects of art and tattooable images. Tuesday at 10 a.m. with Ricardo Sturdivant. He does his drawing class. He's been doing a great job showing everybody how to display different shapes in their compositions. Wednesdays at noon is the Tattoo Now show with Gabe Ripley. Thursdays at 10 a.m. is with myself again, Kier Franklin. I do Thursday morning fundamentals. Beam in this week, we will have a special guest that we will talk about in a little bit. So you definitely don't want to miss this one. Thursdays at noon is the Tattoo Collecting Podcast with Fawn Baker and Jordan Ruckus, and many more content from Andre Malcolm to BJ Betts. You can find all of this at courses.reinventingthetattoo.com, including the Reinventing the Tattoo canon that Guy has been writing and going over and adding for decades now. You can find the full canon right online through the subscribers edition of Reinventing the Tattoo. And of course, thank you to our sponsors for making this free at worldtattooevents.com. Updated tattoo events around the world, especially with COVID going on. 16 events have already canceled and or rescheduled. So be sure to check that out to get everything updated, whether you're a collector, tattooer, or just curious. inkjetstencils.com, making stenciling easier with a mess-free print system, easier on yourself and your apprentice to get the job done. Of course, thank you to Raw Pigments at rawpigments.co. I actually just ordered a whole bundle of new colors, a bunch of new favorites. So I'll definitely be trying those out. Can't wait. Dealize Pro or dermalizepro.com help tattoo clients around the globe, making tattoo healing a little bit easier. Check out some examples right on their website at dermalizepro.com. Gabe Ripley of Tattoo Now for 25 years. He's been making this website and or name, and he's been doing a great job making all of the artists involved and including apprentices, getting them included as well. I appreciate Gabe very much. GuyAtchison.com, of course, you can't not thank him. You can find his prints, paints, books, tattoo machines, all that fun stuff right at his website, GuyAtchison.com. And of course, thank you to our affiliates, eco-friendly tattoosupplies.com, Apprentice Diary, shout out to Amy Nichols, and Fireside Tattoo, shout out to Jake Meeks. We're all here in support of this wonderful community that has done nothing but give back to our followers. Real world events coming up very soon in almost 2 weeks. We have the Paradise BYOB. I'm very, very, very excited for this. I've been waiting for this for a very long time. We'll be beaming out live streams all throughout the events. Just in case you can't make it, we will be having that. You'll be seeing myself there. And if you want more information on how you can get involved or maybe show, definitely check out paradisebyob.com. We'll just be hanging out, drawing with some beautiful Massachusetts fall timeness. We have Belgium in November that is still happening. Gabe and Ivana are going to be doing seminars. Next May is Hell City. Next July is River City Tattoo Invitational. And next October is the Paradise Tattoo Gathering. It's already booked. So be sure to check it all out. And you can check that out at the Real World events. So yeah, that's kind of that, huh? For our intro. Good morning, everyone. My hair kind of looks like alfalfa, but we'll deal. We just got a haircut, so it's at that stage now where it's just going to do whatever it feels like. But good morning, everybody. So while people are waking up and joining in, we're going to talk about my class that we're going to be doing for this Thursday morning. We're going to have our special guest, Nick Mitchell. And if you're not too familiar with him, I do have his stuff already pulled up so we can check it out. And I just pulled up his Instagram. And for those of you who don't know, like I just said, I do Thursday morning fundamentals. And we've been talking about light. And for this week, we'll have our special guest here. Yeah, so this is his Instagram here. And he does some crazy cool new schoolish horror. And I like it a lot. The way he saturates everything is so nicely blended. Even some very difficult colors that he puts in there, he puts them in there quite nice. And I for one cannot wait to talk with him about lighting and how he really uses it, because you can tell obviously, he really understands that. You can see on this left-hand side, he uses that nice hard or central light on here, and then he combats it with this reflective light on the other side. It's quite beautiful, actually. And I cannot wait to speak with him personally about all of his artwork, and we can talk about lighting and how to choose lighting, if he does choose it, if he goes off of reference. Like, there's so many questions to answer that I cannot wait to get the answers for. So that's what we got going on for Thursday. I really wanted to talk about reinventing too, because I feel like sometimes it doesn't get as much credit as it should for starting a lot of things for myself, and I know a lot of people. But we have our friend here, Ricardo, and it seems like today is the green shirt day.
Oh yeah, look at that. What do you know?
Yeah. Oh wait, I don't even have my headphones on. I heard you.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, you can hear you pretty clearly though, so that's awesome.
Oh, that's good. I know. I like this microphone, but ever since you guys told me to stop using this like fan thing, I have it. It's very much in the way.
Yeah, you sound much clearer. That's awesome. Yeah, I finally, listened to Gabe. He actually mentioned it the other day, yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Yeah, I got these headphones back, so we're good to go.
Jason's deciding to give us a warm and creepy welcome.
Oh, hello, Jason.
Do you do the tattoo?
Yes, we do the tattoos, man. How are you? How are you doing this morning?
Obviously, I just woke up, so don't mind me. In fact, I'm gonna turn my video off because I'm just like on another level right now.
I think it's kind of great. We all matched today.
Yeah, what do you know?
Well, today is a gray day, so.
Yeah, it is kind of dark here too, man. It's crazy. It's meant that you mentioned that.
Oh no. You misunderstand. It's sunny and beautiful outside, but like this was clean, so it's a gray day.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Well, this is actually perfect timing because I wanted our subject today to be about how we all came together and how great reinventing has been for us as far as changing everything, actually.
You mean that Tijuana drug bust wasn't self-explanatory?
Yeah, exactly. But
that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I know I am. Listen, I just woke up, okay? I'm still caffeinated. I'm trying to be funny.
I mean, technically, Jason, it's almost going to be a year since you've been on Reinventing, right?
Just about, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of things have changed in that year, and I think it's pretty cool. And Ricardo, when did you join in?
I joined in February. Actually, I have the sketchbook that I joined in with. Let me go get the date.
Are you
I wrote
serious?
it. I swear to God, I wrote it down.
Wow.
I said very first Zoom with Jason Leeser. Let me see.
I'm sure he was like, "Who is that guy?"
That's pretty much the way it went. And then, like I'm saying, dude, it's crazy because that was the first thing that Gabe said. I was like, "Oh wow, you sound really clear," and I was like, "Okay." And then Jason,
your magic headphones.
let me see, where did I write it down at? Where's it? Which sketch? Oh wait, I got it. I know which one it is. I have several sketchbooks going at one time, so I apologize. Hold on one second.
He is a man of many sketchbooks.
Many sketchbooks. Hey, let me see here. It's right here. All right, first day was, yep, it was February 8th. And this is the sketch right here. Let's see.
Praying mantis back piece.
Stop.
Can you see it? Yeah. Praying
That's
mantis back
amazing.
piece. Yeah, Jason was talking about how he's drawing a praying mantis for one of his friends. They were playing around with an idea for a back piece, and I started drawing that. And then I ended up drawing
and then Ricardo totally jumped in and totally showed me up within like the first 15 minutes. I thought it was hysterical.
Whatever, dude.
No, you did. You were like, "Oh, that's cool. Let me whip this out in 30 minutes." Boom. And it was like 1,000 times better than what I had drawn.
Not true. Not true.
I mean, it's pretty crazy though to think about. Even through this past year, just being on Reinventing has changed everything. I mean, I can only speak for myself. I can't speak for the two of you, but with all the traveling and the people recognizing us, and it's just been absolutely crazy. You guys going to visit Guy, it's just been one thing after another. But I was pretty much going for that. Jason started the whole crew here, and that's cute.
Blackberries.
Blackberries.
And then Ricardo joined, and then I quickly followed afterwards. And then eventually Jason was like, let's just all hang out, like just on a Zoom real quick. And we were actually doing a seminar type deal that Jason wanted to do for how to measure out larger pieces, which I think is absolutely fantastic. That method is the best method since sliced bread.
That is, by the way, posted up for subscribers only in the subscribers only area of the Reinventing the Tattoo community.
There you go. That was going to be my next question.
It's so accurate, man. It's crazy how accurate that thing is. Like, you got it down. You can print out a stencil and you put it on. It's perfect. Like, you and I worked on a back. Yeah, you and I worked on a back piece together.
It's efficient. It works.
Yeah, totally.
That's why I do it that way.
It's incredible. Like, no, and I know it sounds like a sales pitch and everything like that, but it's absolutely true, dude. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's fucking perfect. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, and I think it's very crazy that after I joined down because I wanted help on my machines.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
And then I made it an effort to go and visit Jason since he was so close to me, and then went to go visit Ricardo, and then we visited Jason again, and then we went out to Miami, and then we went to conventions together. It's just been all thanks to Reinventing, and it's not even just the four of us that have come together. Like, I've met Melissa and Sandy and everybody that we've met on here. Like, Christina has come through.
Wait a second, you met Sandy?
No, I mean, like, on here. I haven't met Sandy. Not in person, virtually.
When did you get up to Canada, and how did you sneak across the border?
I mean, I'm quite tiny, so I think I can sneak across the border very easy.
She fit inside of a Pelican briefcase.
Like, I 100% could.
I think you probably could, yeah.
That's
Wow.
not saying much for me. I could probably do the same thing, but
You just
Right
like
there with you guys.
tuck yourself in there. I mean, they're pretty big, not gonna lie. When you guys had brought both of your Pelican cases to every show that we've been to, I just been like, oh my God. And just
Yeah.
and even when you were trying to pack yours up, Jason, and you were pretty much sitting on it trying to get it to close.
no, I was sitting on it. Okay. And that's because I always buy too much shit.
Yeah, that definitely.
Best convention advice I was ever given. Don't buy anything unless you absolutely need it.
Bring an extra bag.
Bring an extra bag.
Bring an extra
Or
bag.
when
And
you're packing it up to go there, put in like a styrofoam spacer, right? That
Yeah.
way you know you can always throw the spacer out and then boom, you've got room for other stuff.
Wow. The man, the myth, the legend, filled with knowledge.
all kinds
Convention
of
hack 101.
tips and tricks. Yeah, no, Kier, I agree with you. It's been this year has been the most pivotal in my tattoo career ever. And like, I've never even considered it. I know it sounds awkward to say, but I've never considered it like a career. I just thought it was something that I did. You know what I mean? Like, I love it. Like, I just do it. I wake up and I'm like, I'm tattooing today. This is fucking amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this is the first time I've had this kind of focus like towards goals and stuff like that with my work, with the people that I meet. Not only that, but like on a personal level as well.
A sense of community too.
A sense of community is exactly what I was going to say. And I think that's what's been beneficial to all those things that I've never realized are, things that you should focus on. And, I've learned a lot about my own art just by being around you guys and like being in this community. That's been incredible as well. Like being able to kind of explain what it is that I do, or what I try to do anyway, has been eye-opening.
And it should be noted that a sense of community matters in your career, whether you like it or not. Get that third-party perspective matters.
Absolutely. And it's crazy because like that was one of the first things that Jason and I were talking about on that Zoom call that day on February 8th, 2021 at 1:00 Eastern time, 12:00 Central.
Actually, you didn't join right away. You can't say 1:00.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It was more like 1:30 or 2 or something like that my time.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it was closer to 1:45 because I got the intro. It took me 15 minutes at that point in time.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So approximately 1:45.
I remember.
Okay.
I remember when I
Okay.
joined on, we stayed on that class or that drawing group for until like 4:00 in the afternoon. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I remember.
Just gnarly. But before reinventing, like I didn't really have, as a young artist, I didn't have a sense of what the community really was. And a lot of people's introductions, especially in this day and age and their apprenticeships, don't always get the best introduction into the community. So this is just a great platform to really get a sense of like a non-biased environment and just a very low-key positive note. That's one of the things that I can say for reinventing, that I have not seen a hateful or negative comment once. So
What?
I
Mark your
agree.
words. It will happen.
I'm not saying it won't happen. I'm just saying that compared to like the Facebook tattoo talk groups and like everything like that, everybody's so hateful on there and so judgmental to each other. And it's just like, no, man, this isn't what this is. Like,
Well,
I've
you have
only-
to keep this in mind. And I'm not trying to defend them.
Mhm,
Please know that.
mhm.
But when they were brought up into tattooing, they were brought up in a very, very different generation. They
Yeah,
were brought up
it's-
in the generation of, the old school biker tattoo studio. Right?
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ricardo, Dennis was telling you some stories about one of the first studios I worked at.
Yeah.
It was a completely different atmosphere and it was a completely different vibe. And it was something that they were very protective over because that's how they made a living. And there was one studio for every 50 miles. Think about that. Just let that soak in. Okay.
Yeah.
50 miles. Okay, I can drive to New York in 50 miles from Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Okay, that means there was one place to go between here and then.
Yeah.
In all actuality, there were more tattoo studios between Philadelphia and New York than almost anywhere else.
I mean, yeah, I get it because my community around me, like tattooing was illegal in Massachusetts at one point. So
It was
now
illegal
everybody,
in New York City too for a very
That's what I
long
was
time.
gonna say.
yeah.
Remember,
So
remember that article? I can't remember what magazine it was. What was that guy's name? Spider? Was it his tattoo name?
Spider
or something
Murphy.
like that? Spider Murphy, dude. I remember reading that article a long time ago. There, he sat on the steps of the courthouse, right, and did a tattoo there, like a hand poke tattoo or something like that. I can't remember exactly.
really,
It was it was such a long time ago. But that was his. That was him protesting the fact that it shouldn't be illegal to be able to tattoo in a city like New York City. So New York City, at one point in time, of all places, that was illegal to do there. Isn't that crazy?
mm-hmm.
So that just goes to prove, like what Jason's saying, you know what I mean? That it was a much different story for these people that are on Facebook that might be saying some of these things. And he's not defending that. I agree, Jason. I know exactly what you're saying. It's like, well, sometimes when people won't allow themselves to hear another perspective on things or another opinion on things, then that's just the way that you're going to view everything because of that. Because that lack of attempt to kind of reach outside of yourself. You know?
If I could just top in real quick, one of the things about Guy that's amazing is, right, he's not quite of that old generation. He's not that Hardy's generation, but he definitely grew up in biker times, right?
Yeah.
And not everyone's Guy, clearly, and everyone grows up differently. And to everyone's point, like, times change. There's a lot of people that grew up not knowing any better, and there's still a lot of people whose environments don't allow them a vision that's any better. But on the other hand, well, I guess you were saying it's not an excuse, and it isn't an excuse, because there were people that were of that generation that weren't assholes. And I think one of the points was made where the supply was outweighing the demand was outweighing the supply. So the artists could truly behave however they wanted to and still be fed. I'm kind of happy. I'm not happy, but whatever. It is what it is. That is changing now, and and again, I think it's one of the reasons why Guys kind of collaborative philosophy, sharing philosophy, we're all in this art together philosophy, really does catch, because anyways, I just wanted to pop in real quick and be like, yeah, I definitely get it. Like, I mean, and I know a lot of old school people. I still know a lot of old school people, and we should definitely be listening to them. And but that's not there's also a lot of people that have, of that era, who are explicitly fighting, that kind of philosophy. And Guy probably took a lot of shit for, not to his face, but he was definitely one of those guys that was doing something that was completely different. He was new school.
Yeah.
Him and Paul Bluth were fucking new school.
Yeah, I remember that was like the only two people that, outside of like, Philip Liu and some of the guys overseas and stuff like that, man. Like there was only a couple people that I remember in some of the magazines earlier, but Paul Booth and Guy Atchison was definitely one of those two names that were synonymous with let's work together. And it was crazy seeing it in the magazines. Like, wait, these guys are doing stuff together and they're okay with it? Like, what's going on here? You know what I mean? And it really triggered something in me for sure. I know that, like, I think back on those days and it was unheard of, you know what I mean, for you to like do stuff like that unless you worked the shop together. And even then, you never really like worked on things together that well either. So yeah, man, I agree with you, Gabe. It's been, he definitely did his own thing. He was pioneering things for sure.
Yeah.
And then what was that world tour that they did a long time ago? Where it was a bunch of metal bands and they toured around. It was him. I think Paul Booth was there, and they were talking about how much like black ink they used. There's like gallons of black ink that ended up getting used.
What?
You know what I mean? Yeah, there's some tour. I can't remember the name.
Tattoo the Earth.
That's it. Yeah, Tattoo the Earth, man. Yeah, dude, that was radical. Dude,
Educate the young one here. What is this now?
Okay, so let me hop in here. So I was at a couple of them, and at least I have one awesome story of a collaboration with Philip Liu, Tintin, maybe Kurt, I don't know, it was a couple of people, but this story has been fact checked. And as far as I know, they are all uncancelable, so I'll tell it. But like I said, it's been fact checked during a drunk critique by someone connected to the Liu family, right? So, anyways, so I'm sitting there, and we're at our booth, and this is in the Worcester show, and like Tintin. This is the first one of those collaborations, I think, maybe the second run. And hold on, Iggy, get away. And so we're sitting there, and then Joey Apps, one of the managers from Dark Side, the shop that I was with, comes up. He's like, "Holy shit, you won't fucking believe it. This guy said, you guys could do whatever you want." I don't even know if I should be telling that. Whatever, I'll tell the story. You guys should be doing, whatever you want, okay? And so Tintin or I don't know who it was. I don't know who the first tattooer was. I think it might have been Tintin. But anyways, tattoos like. I hope the client doesn't give a shit because it's a sick ass tattoo. But tattoos a fucking an anus right in the center of the guy's back, and then this massive, awesome skull. And I was like, nah, whatever. It can't possibly be. And I saw the tattoo, and I did. At first I didn't see it at all because I just was looking at this fucking unbelievable, Philip Liu, Tintin. Fucking, I don't know who else was in on it, but probably Paul or who knows. But anyways, I was like, holy shit, that's good. Those collaborations were absolutely some of the first times that I guess the tattooers were all doing it, right? And,
that we're aware of, right?
That we're aware of, yeah. The amount of learning that got passed back and forth is just tremendous, and and ultimately that's one of the things that I think keeps Guy, kind of. Well, I mean, really at the forefront, right? Because something that's 25 years old, how do you keep it, how do you keep it new? And it's like, well, for one, by teaching people, because inevitably they're going to be sharing back, right? So like, Guy's taught generations of tattooers who are now sharing back with him, and and with each other, and that and the constant dedication to, improvement on a regular basis or sometimes daily basis is it's awesome that Guy's not just doing things to like he does things to do them and then wants to share them with people so that everyone could share in the successes. Not just like teaching for money. It's crazy trying to do. It's not crazy. It's getting easier to differentiate Reinventing from all the other teach us how to tattoo, or I can teach you how to tattoo like this ads on the Facebooks or whatever, because well, again, mostly because he's been living and breathing it for nearly 3 decades and ain't gonna stop. So
dude, it's exactly what we were talking about when we were in Philadelphia. Jason, Kier, and we went to dinner on Thursday night, and we went to an awesome Cuban place, and Kier, it was incredible, dude. But like that was the part of the conversation that we were discussing was like, this guy's been doing this for almost as long as I've been alive, you know what I mean? And and it's fucking incredible, dude. Like, you learn kind of like you catch on to it. It's a contagious kind of thing with that flame, you know what I mean? That fire that lights up underneath you. And then you start learning more about yourself, and then you start teaching a little bit, and you start learning even more through teaching, and then becoming a better person, like working on things like as well as including your own personality, your own person, your own beliefs and everything like that, opening up a little bit more. And I think that's definitely one of the things that Jason and Akira and I were talking about was just that the reality of it happening. It's been happening for such a long time, and how he can see it like kind of coming to fruition, like it coming back around. You know what I mean? It's awesome. I think it's pretty radical. So
Yeah.
I think the conclusion we came to is the fact that he can see into the future, which is kind of scary.
Yeah.
And I keep meaning to ask him what lottery numbers are going to win.
I might have a little bit of insight into that. Well, not that I would. He very well might see into the future, right? But one thing that like a lot of artists or visionary artists or just visionary people, and I find myself doing this sometimes. Like we could see a future, right? Or I guess I'll speak for myself. Like I could look at someone, I could look at their career, look at their trajectory, feel out a little bit, and I could see how their opportunities, can be, grown or, or some of their, sometimes weaknesses and sometimes my own, but, it's easier to see this in other people, of course. But point being is it is actually infinitely easier to see a future and to help people achieve it as opposed to seeing the future. And I would propose that as much as Guy can see a future, he would also propose that fucking people and nature are crazy. So it's not clairvoyance. It's being able to kind of read the weather,
Patterns.
read the weather to try to predict the climate kind of a thing, I guess, or something. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe, like I said, he's awesome, man. And maybe he sees he does clearly see the future at times.
Yeah.
Well, I think
Often.
there's a lot to say about like recognizing things because you see them in yourself or you've seen them in yourself at one point in time too. I think that has a lot to do with like intuition or wisdom. Sometimes it's recognizing those patterns and stuff like that too. So yeah, I agree.
It's a lot easier to dispense wisdom and lessons learned than it is to accept them.
Yeah, absolutely,
And,
dude.
I like every single thing that fucked me up, someone along the way warned me off of. Not the same person and not, except for my wife, she was pretty consistent with some things, but, but there wasn't a single thing that happened where I was like, oh yeah, that was not, somebody said get a lawyer, somebody said get your accounting straight, somebody said this, somebody said that, and I was like, I'm too busy for that, I'm too small for that, or whatever it might have been. And but the point is it's absolutely worth trying to share these lessons, but it's what the skill that's even more important, is being able to actually see, learn the lessons. And in some ways that might be impossible because if you don't actually, so there are some lessons that you are not going to be able to learn without experiencing. And tattooing, clearly that jump from, you can't like learn to tattoo without tattooing, you can.
I've had that conversation with my boss actually this past weekend because I've been doing a lot of like pieces that I didn't think could be ready for, but at the end of the day, it's more, you don't know if you're ready for it unless you do it and then make that mistake. And then you're like, oh, we probably shouldn't do that yet. And my boss was kind of just like, hey, like, are you okay? Do you feel like you're like in over your head or anything like that? I'm like, honestly, I don't know if I am until I feel that way. So we're going to keep going the way we're going until then.
How do you know if you're not ready unless you test if you're ready?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then he was kind of just like, well, that's a very good point. So we'll leave it at that.
Yep.
But we have Melissa and Joe on here. I'm so excited. Everybody's on today.
What's up, guys?
Yay!
Hey guys.
This is awesome.
I don't have to talk to myself. This is great.
Sorry, I'm not a morning person.
That's okay. Melissa, you actually took a master's studies class with my boss, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he's rad.
Yeah.
In fact, like when he told us about the situation you were coming from, like he didn't tell us any kind of names or anything. And then I saw in your post after he made that decision, I was like, yes.
Yeah, it's actually quite nice, and I thank him every day for it. I keep trying to edge him on to come on one of the drawing groups. I'm like, come on, man, like it's just artists, like it's fine. Like
You definitely got to get him on here.
Yeah, because he's a hoot. He really is such a funny guy. So yeah, I'll definitely one day get him on here. And but I just thought that was crazy because he was talking about this master studies class that he was taking. And he's like, somebody that's in that class. And I'm like, oh, who? And he's like, Melissa. I'm like, Melissa Singh? He's like, yeah, she said some really nice things about you. So like, I gotta thank you for the hiring.
He already made his decision before I even knew who it was. But had I known, I'd have said something.
Yeah, it was difficult. It was difficult because it made it very clear. And for those of you who don't know, that we're talking about the shop that I'm in now. He made it very clear on the audio, like the ad, that he wanted somebody with 3 years or more experience. And that's just not. I just got licensed in January, so
Congratulations.
Thank you. But I just did a couple tattoos, and he was just like, "All right, cool. That's sounds good to go."
For the record, I definitely kept my nose out of that.
Yeah.
There was 2 or 3 times where I was like, I should just fucking ping him and be like, "Yo, dude." But everyone's got to play, and we know each other a bit, but like I didn't want to like step into that.
Hey,
Yeah.
Ricardo.
You did it all yourself 100% without,
Yes.
you know, so you know.
How's it going?
Say, hey, dog. I love your work, dog.
Oh, hey, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Hey, I don't get to see you too often, so and I haven't had time to hop on these reinventings. As you know, it's my day off today. Got that
cool.
bed. I'm drawing in bed right now, so
That's nice.
That's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
well, you know, I run a big shop. I'm not gonna get all into it, but I had to lose my crew through theft, a big crew. So now I
Oops.
go by guest artist since pandemic going down, and yeah, the first 2 years I opened my shop, I was 7 days a week. Now for the past year, I've been taking Mondays off again.
Good for you.
Thank
Good for
you.
you.
Awesome.
I mean,
Yeah.
but you know what it's like. You know, I'm lucky. I got family and stuff, but I'm a bachelor. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm.
you're married, aren't you, Ricardo?
No, I'm not. I'm not married.
You have kids?
I do have kids. They're
Yeah.
older. Yeah,
But-
they're we'll say they're of legal drinking age.
Well, they're still your kids, dog.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, for sure. I'm just saying.
So,
Yeah, they're older
that's-
though.
I really wanted at a certain, not forever, but it came when my last engagement. But you know, God's got different plans.
Yeah, man, you're right, dude. You know, I've had my fair share of experiences like you. I think what you're referring to for sure. And it can be difficult, but you know,
It
through
broke, man. It
Yeah.
broke me. It moved me.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm born and raised Hawaii boy. All right, you're talking
Yeah.
to a local boy. I was so broken. I came to visit my mom's sister and her kids that I had met. I'm 35, so this is 4 years ago. I opened the shop 3 years ago. Guest spotted in Logan, which is Utah, on the edge of the border of Idaho. And I'm talking to you too, Kier. Is it Kier or Kier?
It's Kirsten, but you can call me Kier. That's fine.
Kier's cool. What do you prefer?
Mm. I'll respond to anything really because
But,
my name is
Kier
said
like
wrong.
Kier.
Yeah,
She's
Kier
not
like
kidding
Kier.
either. She really will respond to anything.
Can I
Oh.
call
Yeah.
you? Can I call you Ginger then, or does that work, or what?
Sure, I guess that works.
Yeah, but yeah. So I came out here to visit family. Long story short, you know, I smoke a shit ton of cannabis. It wasn't legal here at the time. They snagged me, decided to finish. They gave me 2 more internal possessions with no stuff. Couldn't drive,
Oof.
got here, and then got the opportunity to open my shop, and I took it. So the goal is to just open one back home in Hawaii and have 2 different crews go back and forth.
Oh man,
And-
Hawaii.
Yeah. So I'm a big island boy, born and raised. You know, it's a big chain. Families all over the place, but my dad was raised in Oahu, so my whole dad's side's on that island, which is kind of like my second home. I spent about 14 years there off and on. My dad flew airlines, so. And then my mom's side's real fucked up. She got sisters and stuff, but I don't have any grandparents or anything. It's basically base of families on the dad's side, but we're all Portuguese, so we all like no help each other. It's like the love's there, but like, you know what I mean? It's good. It's you do it yourself or you fucking sleep in your car. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
sometimes that shit needs to be taught that way. I was bitter about it back in the day. Like, why can't I just go to my grandma's house for a night? But you know what? It teaches you important things.
It really does, dude.
To not fuck up. You know what I mean? To not make mistakes we used to that put us in those positions.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. I
Awesome.
agree
Hey,
completely.
Melissa, it's looking dope, girl. I know you.
Yeah,
you
what's
can't see.
what's everyone working on today? Melissa's working
Thank
on
you.
this
So-
cool.
I'll show you
thing.
some. I know. Is it 9 supposed to be the bird session? I'm a bird nut.
I mean, we initially had it as Jake Meek's drawing group, and then we didn't have a host for a little bit, but it's back to just a drawing group. But you know,
Cool.
if you're drawing
I got
birds,
four.
that's cool.
No.
More birds, the better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Pueo's Mahamakua, and then the wolf on this side. But I haven't started with my sleeve. I haven't done the Pueo's Hawaiian for a Hawaiian owl. It is the Hawaiian owl, that type of owl. It's called Pueo. But anyways, it's not the prettiest. They're vicious and they get huge, but they're just really brownish. But cool faces and no horns. They look more like a barn kind of. But no, I did these pieces already, tattooed them, but I like to draw, and I got one I'm working on right now. You guys tell me what you think. I'm gonna put a hawk on the bottom. It's gonna be like for some chicks. How do you turn this shit around?
There should be like a little button on the bottom.
There.
There you go.
I don't know how good. So these are done already. They were just. I thought they were classic. Okay, so two different of my clients love to pick up my flash because I give discounts. So I did the early bird with the worm in its mouth. It looks badass, colored in and everything. You guys have to check it out on the IG, or I'll send it to you. And then I did that. I don't know. Imagine this bird outside your window, just fucking hate. You just want to fucking go kill it. And I love birds. Just screaming holla at you all morning from like 7 a.m. So I was like, boom, do that one. You know what I mean? And they turned out really cool. But I got this one I have not been working on at all. I got a lot of cool shit I'd love to show you guys, but let's stick with the normal and not kill time. There's only a few of us here, right? Well, actually, how many of us are here? We got a bunch of us.
Yeah, I
What's
think
up,
there's
Jace?
like 8 or 9.
Oh, they're not on. They're not on yet anymore, or yet. Oh, there
Jason's
he is. What's up,
eating his
Jace?
breakfast.
Yeah,
Go ahead and hey,
I'm working on breakfast right now, so
keep eat. You turn your shit off. Keep eating, dog. Get back to your business.
Just
Cannot
didn't want
eat.
to be that guy that was like eating in front of anyone and couldn't.
Hey,
shit.
dog. I'm about to say, I'm about to come over. Where you? What state you at? I got hungry for
Philadelphia,
one.
man, come on up.
Philly, fuck. My boy's guest
Yeah.
spotting from Philly after I get back from the Baltimore convention for about 2 weeks. So it's kind of ironic you're in Philly. Next time I come to guest spot at his shop, we'll have to link up.
Oh, dude, definitely. There's also going to be the Philadelphia convention coming up in February,
Yeah,
which is going to be directly followed by the Explorer Tattoo Conference, which
and
should
I
be
love
pretty
that.
awesome.
Not to cut you off, but yeah, I'm dying to go. I'm analog, but yeah, I'm Procreate. You know what I mean? I do a lot of digital layout. It's just what it is these days. But I'm 15 years professional, so I carried tracing paper and sketchbooks like most of my career. So these young boys using this shit, they ain't learning how to draw mandalas on paper in case their shit breaks and shit. You know what I mean?
You're right. You're very, very right. And it is a skill to learn how to do that.
Dude, I had to learn how to origami before I could, because you got to fold all your sections and retrace. But no one knows how to do that because there's all these apps. Don't get me wrong, I use them too. But if my shit broke, I could draw you anything you fucking wanted. You know what I mean? And that's a fucking tattooer, not these fucking new school generation kids. No hating, because some of them are a year in just fucking blowing my mind, making me more amped instead of depressed. But unlike skateboarding did. But yeah, I love it. I mean, we can do tattoo art, digital art, anything we want. You know what I mean? And I'm a little bitter. I mean, stamps are useful as long as you change them. But I think we need to start. We got to talk to Russ and start kind of like lowering those stamps. If you feel what I mean? They have a few that you can build off of certain stuff of themes. But dude, like everything's a stamp now, and I feel people are just straight up copying them.
So Procreate stamps have become the new tattoo flash.
I get it, but we're all custom artists. You know what I mean? Even if they bring us a reference, we're gonna give them the theme they want, but it's gonna be in our styles. And I'm a versatile artist. Right. I do a ton of shit, like realism, color realism, everything. And I'm proud of that. I worked really hard at that. And some people say it's a flaw because you don't spend time on. I'm a bio guy completely. Obviously, I'm gonna show you a bunch, but I get bored if I don't get to do all that other fun shit. Trad, realism, black and gray realism, fucking illustrator work, sacred geometry. It's just how I am. I get intensity to where even though I love doing bio every day, I'm gonna be like, man, I want to do a bird. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, real quick, Tyler, your camera's pointing right at I don't know what it's pointing at.
My bad. I'm sorry. I wanted to show you this stuff, and I was kind of spacing here. All right. So here's some I'm working on right now that are kind of almost. I'm a big Aliens fan, bio, obviously. I got
cool.
some textures and stuff. What are you guys thinking of that?
That's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's not done yet. Still working on a lot of these. I busted my wisdom tooth, so I took the 3 days off that I couldn't afford to just finally not draw tattoos and do what I wanted to do. You know what I mean? Because that shit never happens.
But you can schedule time, right? I was just down at Christian's, and he basically will schedule, a 3-hour chunk of time off of his tattoo schedule to paint.
Oh no, I'm acrylic painter. I'm a Crayola nut. I learned everything from him, and I don't have a studio. I'm not painting right now. Just watercolor. Just finished this one. What are you guys thinking?
Yeah, it looks great, man.
Oh, that's nice.
Hell yeah.
Thank
It
you. I
looks
feel
really
like
good.
it's still missing some sort of texture in the background. I signed it here, but I erased it already because I feel like I need to
Some
add
sort of
more.
real subtle something. Little
Just
atmosphere. Or...
like here, for instance, I'll show you. Like I'm a
You
bio
wouldn't want
guy.
to put anything very prominent or too definitive in the background. It would
Yeah,
take
I
away
want-
from the
gray,
facade.
something
I
90%,
need
80%, 90% gray.
yeah, it needs to be
Mm.
unfocused. You know what I mean? Like super unfocused. That's not the piece. So here's okay. So I took a painting that I started, as most people do, and I started rendering it in an iPad. So this was the start of it, okay? And
Okay.
David's been giving David Horka, he did a sick
Yeah,
painting,
yeah.
but he's been giving me tips because this is kind of
Awesome.
like his style. But
Yeah, hey, you know Brian Brown?
no, I bet you I recognize him, but no, it's
I bet
not
you
ringing
do.
a
Look up.
bell.
Everyone should be checking out Brian Brown. You're pointing your camera like something random again, though. Sorry to be a ticker, but this is
My
YouTube,
bad,
right?
my bad.
And you have cool stuff to default onto.
Oh,
Brian
I've
Brown is a sick ass painter, tattooer in Western Massachusetts, right up the lines with this. Yeah, I think David tattooed him a bunch. You know, Victor tattooed him. He's
Is
world
he
class kind of creepy guy.
is he a tattooer or just a collector?
He's a tattooer and a painter, and he's not creepy himself. He's awesome
Oh,
himself, and definitely the
right
opposite of
on.
creepy. But he draws creepy stuff.
Well, there's a lot of us. Us artists can be creepy. You know what I mean? So it's just what it is. How's fuck? I'm trying to find the one I wanted. The most rendered.
I'm gonna tell you again. Point the camera while you're scrolling. There you go.
Dicks.
Okay,
Freaking
I'm going on mute
dicks.
now. Cheers, everyone.
Fuck you guys.
That's Gabe Ripley, everybody.
I love
It's all right.
it.
He can still see. How's this one, you guys? What do you guys think of this piece? I was going super like mechy eyeball. This is between this is me and me, Adrian, and Brad.
Yeah, cool.
It almost has like a Marcus Lenhard kind of feel.
Yeah, we were biting a little bit on Marcus, but he didn't want to hop in it. Marcus hopped in. You guys all hopped in. Remember when we did that first Reinventing bio show?
Yeah. Okay, you're in California.
Yeah, and like 10 of us or
Yeah.
15 of us were on it.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
guy sends me this at the very end and says, go ahead and put some highlights in it. And I'm like, the fucker is done. I'm like, what do you want me to do to it? Like, thanks for
Let's see. What'd you do?
I didn't do anything. There's nothing to do. Like,
Yeah.
I'll close up.
Well, you know what though? You know, so just for sake of argument, guy would, you might as well. You should absolutely play with it. And,
you're
you
right.
know,
Out of respect,
because the thing is, if you don't send that back to Guy with some highlights on it, that's the end of, well, not the end.
we
that's
talked
the end of
about
that thread, right?
we talked about it already. He's cool, but I like the
Yeah.
fact that you're Ryan, like just kind of like not keep it the same. Let me render it my own way. That's a good idea.
And then at the end of it, you might be like, "Fuck it, there's nothing I can learn." But
no
at least give it a
joke.
shot.
I might even just toss it. And then Hugo, do you guys know Hugo? We're doing like a vulva. We just started this one, kind of like a vulva bioluminescent thing. My turn. I've been working on it the last hour and a half lately. He'll get it back next week. We do slow turns. A lot of stuff with Marcus. Here's a layout that I haven't started yet. He just did the fundamentals. And then I'll lay my session in, then we'll go on from there.
Awesome.
Marcus also has another piece with me that we've been working on for a while. It's gone through stages. All right. So that's like where it's at now. Through my last session, I got to send it to him. And then this is how it used to look, dog. You're gonna laugh. You know how we play with them. That's how it used to look. And then it even went through this pink phase I was digging. Do I even have it? No, I don't have the pink version in
Did
here.
you check out the ZBrush demo that Adrian and Hoku and Guy did like 3 or 4
No,
weeks ago?
I wanted to because Adrian's like one of my close friends, and I just didn't have time. Didn't have time to sign in, man. But it's recorded, so I can still watch it, right?
The replay is up.
Okay, awesome.
It's fucking crazy, man. Like they did it for like 2 or 3 hours.
Hey, okay, do you guys know Lazier Bazaar? He's kind of a German dude or whatever, Dutch dude. You guys ever heard of him? Lazier?
It does not sound familiar.
he's not hugely popular, but he's very talented. So me and him been collabing on this torso piece. Now you guys give me this very the dark version. I haven't rendered any of my dark, as you can tell, like ripples and whatnot, but this is the premise. So I have a lot more to do on my contrast on this for a torso piece. Me and him collabing. It's still my turn, but tell me, do you guys like, even though it's not rendered fully with the blackness, do you guys like that, even though you can't tell because it's, again, not rendered? Or do you guys think that looks better?
Is it front torso or back?
So
Front.
are you saying A or B?
Yeah, A or B. So this being
this
A
is
or
B.
B.
Let's see A.
Yeah, we'll call this B and we'll call the dark one A. Yeah. Now again, the dark one, I never rendered all those little shoulder caps and things yet, but I wanted to go darker after we were working on this. But I still really do like the robotic light, like just good energy it throws out. But still, I don't know. I'm kind of caught up.
I think
in
the dark
between.
is way well for me. The dark pushes the those
The
bones that are
contrast.
coming out way more.
Okay,
so if
you ready? You ready
for
for
dark
it?
again?
Yeah. Okay, you ready for it? Now remember, I haven't rendered like the shoulders and stuff.
Yeah. No more qualifiers. Let's see it. A B.
Boom.
Yeah.
Hold on. Right? Darker, solider. That's what I felt. Right on, man. I appreciate that. It's a good tip.
Anybody else? Everyone else pipe in. I don't even.
I think I don't know. It's hard to say because they're both two different light
Pieces.
sources at this point.
Yeah,
well, it's the same
they
piece,
are.
but it just feels like one's darker, one's a little bit softer. You know what I mean?
I also have to. I got to directionalize my light source a little bit more on that one too. You know what I mean? I kind of have it coming from a little bit of all too many angles. What are you guys thinking of this bad boy? I went cartoony with this one. Another pilot. Not finished at all. Just started it. Like maybe 3 hours.
Nice concept.
Cool, right?
That's awesome.
With the baby, because they created us supposedly, blah blah blah.
I like the
That'd be
concept.
cool.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
And then I got some characters I drew. I don't know what to do with them though. They're pretty much like rendered and finished. I just kind of feel like they need like a background and stuff. I don't know. I get OCD like that, so I'm trying to focus it for you.
Throw them up on ArtStation.
What is that? Is that in our reinventing?
It's a website for concept artists that are always looking for new character development and character design artists.
Okay.
And there's all different types of mediums on there, from 3D sculpture, two-dimensional stuff, analog stuff.
Cool.
Throw it up there. You have head honchos from places like Marvel, DC Comics, all different types of like movie studios. They're all hunting through ArtStation all the time, looking to recruit concept character artists for different things.
And that's not even my thing, but I do enjoy drawing characters, monsters mostly, and like robotic stuff. But like, I draw people, I do portraits, but you know, that's harder to me than drawing a character like that, you know. But when it comes to photorealism, that's nothing because I'm just copying a picture. What do you guys think of my version of this Batman Joker like priest fucking thing I just started wrapping up?
It looks great, man.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Isn't that fucking creepy, dog? I don't know what the fuck was going in my head. You can't tell, but there's like rays coming through the sun, like the sun parts and textures in the browns, but it's kind of hard to see on this bullshit. And this is the brand new 12. The camera you think would be better. God, I just want to show you that one that I was rendering that I've been working on recently. Oh, I got to hop in with Marcus and Adrian and Brad, and I'm forgetting one more person. You guys are gonna recognize this piece, but we all hop back in it to change it up, so it's kind of cool. But this isn't the one because it's got brown in it, and the other one that I have doesn't have brown. So anyway, I'll just show you a quick
find it quick or one more, because we do have Nick Mitchell has joined us.
Okay.
Yeah, he said he just woke up, but I think he's going to figure out how to get his camera working.
Woo. Roger, right on. Morning, Mitch. So the brown is gone. The piece that's in my other iPad, obviously, that's why it's not in here. But yeah, I mean, I like the brown. It's just I oversaturated. But do you guys recognize this piece?
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
I do not.
It's
I don't
Marcus.
know.
That's what I forgot. Marcus Lease, Adrian, Leonard wasn't in it. It was Marcus Lease, Adrian, Dominic, Adrian, the other Adrian, Kurt, and that's it. And me.
Nice,
But this
man.
piece was done originally before we started redoing it, was done just by Marcus and Heinz.
Awesome.
And me and Heinz don't do a lot. So if you guys need to invite some new peeps in, let's get that going.
That's
I don't
awesome.
want to
Yeah, we
I don't
got
want to take everybody's time, you know what I mean?
we got we got Joe here that's been chilling, and Nick just joined in.
Well,
Melissa's
welcome, Nick.
Still
Hey, how's it going,
chilling.
guys?
Let me get a little
So-
picture. Melissa, it's looking sick, girl. You better turn that microphone off when shit starts. I want that shit looks awesome. There we go.
Thank you.
How long you been
So
working
good.
on this, Melissa?
I think I've got like 8 or 9 hours into it.
Nice.
Well, you're 8 or 9 hours and you're that much into depth. Well,
Yeah.
screw you, Melissa. Shit, I pay like a motherfucker, and you did that in fucking that small. God bless you, because I think I'm one of those guys that likes to paint big. And look at the size of that Ouija board or Ouija reader. Oh my God! You better, even if it's not done, I want to see a close up of that. That shit is very beautiful.
I had a question,
Yeah,
Melissa.
agreed.
Is
Thank you. Yeah.
that a Trickel board?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, they're a great company. They really are.
Oh my gosh, I love them.
I-
I just recently bought some more of their panels. I found their planchette. It's the same shape as this, but I found them in their oh gosh, their imperfect panels.
Yes.
And I found them without the hole. I'm like, yes.
For those who don't know, Trickel is an amazing canvas board and paintbrush company. I highly recommend to everybody. Let me pull up their website and I'll show. But they pretty much have these imperfect boards where you can, so anything that they cut that they make mistakes on, they'll price them much lower and you can buy those.
Oh, dope! Right on. Yeah, I've been buying panels. I've just been buying cheap panels and gessoing the hell out of them. It's like I'll do like 3 gessos and sand that shit to baby bottom. But yeah, I just buying typical candles, gessoing them really well, and then white graphite after I paint over my backgrounds. Because yeah, I'm very inspired by Corolla, so he kind of tends to get. Are we okay here? Is this an ad? What's going on here?
No, this is the Treco website.
Oh,
You
cool.
can get
Right.
all their
I didn't
boards
know, I
from
didn't know you
here.
could do that.
Yeah, you can
Right.
get them.
Oh, what? See, these are what I want. Is that Blind Culture? Is Blind Culture getting? I don't know his real name, but is that where he's getting these freaking panels right here?
No,
Um,
he
paint
custom
some?
makes his.
Blind
He
Culture.
does make his. God, his
Yes.
shit is so sick. Oh my God,
Yeah.
I would die for one of those. He's so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
but
super good.
these are like straight up Trickel panel styles, but like 3 times less expensive.
yeah, so pretty
'Cause-
much anything they make mistakes on, you can buy them for much less, and they can be
Oh,
good for practice or anything like
it is-
that.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, perfect
I'm-
ones you could kind of probably like customize out yourself a little bit, anyways, eh?
Yeah,
Absolutely. Oh, I didn't even know you were on Trickel, because yeah, that's all I use is Trickel. I've been a Trickel guy for the past 14 years. So
Nice.
that's cool. They're on their site. I thought you were just showing me another site similar, but no, this is their defaulted models. And I love
Yes.
default. I'll paint right over that shit. I'll fucking epoxy it and sand it if I got to. You know what I mean? Fuck them.
yeah. They can come pre-gessoed, and some of them have like little tiny stands on them and stuff. Like it's
Oh, that's cool.
it's pretty
I
cool.
love
The
that.
other,
That's dope as fuck.
Awesome.
These
The
ones
other
you're showing me
place-
right now, I'm in love with. I want to do a few of these.
So, Melissa, what did you have to? You were gonna say something?
The other place you can get some canvases, at least fairly cheap. If you guys shop Blick, they occasionally do their closeout panels.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And usually, like, there's
Blick.
like there's a chip in the gesso or something. I picked up 3 like 3-foot by 6-foot panels.
No,
for
I
like
go big, girl. Good for
$200.
you. $200. What?
Yeah, that's awesome. I have a Blick not far from me. I have a Blick in Boston, and then there's a Blick in Connecticut too. So they're both not quite far. There's like there's another store too that's like a Jerry's Artorama in Connecticut, and they're top notch.
Actually, speaking of Kier, we should facilitate art supply orders for the BYOB potentially.
Yeah.
Because there's, okay, or go find somebody else to do so. Like, so I guess, or just want to make sure that, because there's no art supply stores. Well, I mean, I guess there's more like 20 minutes, half hour away.
I got a Michael's and a Hobby Lobby here, which Michael's is better for paint material, pens, and color pencils and everything. And their framing store is amazing. And
You're not in Western Massachusetts, though.
I'm in. Oh, I know, and I'm in Utah, so there ain't no.
Yeah. So right now we're talking about. There's a bunch of us that are going to end up at in Jiminy Peak in Western Massachusetts. So we need to figure out how to make sure everyone has their art supplies there.
I mean,
Dave, I'm bringing a ton of stuff with me.
I'm
bringing a whole roll of paper. I'm bringing. I was going to stop by Jerry's Artorama because there's one out in New Jersey, 20, 30 minutes away from me. I was going to pick up a roll of pre-gessoed canvas, some, cheaper brushes, a whole bunch of black and white acrylics.
Don't forget your 600 and 1,000 grit. So you can sand your gesso, obviously.
Would you be adverse to potentially fielding some orders from people? Like if people sent you, some of their supplies, maybe you could pick them up on the way out. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So let's we could chat about that. I'll put that on the list. Hey, Nick, you got your
he had his cowboy hat on and then he took it off.
Right. Guys, I barely got some coffee in me, so I'm dragging.
Let's Kier, could you maybe feature Nick and we'll give him the floor for a bit and we'll do maybe little introductions and
you guys want to
Nick.
You guys want to sit? Oh yeah. Let's get these introductions while you're doing that.
All right, Tyler, let's why don't you hop back a little bit? Let's
Pardon me? Sorry.
Let's let Nick talk.
Oh yeah, go for it. Do your thing, bro. We're all here together.
That's what we're trying to do.
I don't want to be the cutoff.
Guys, Nick Mitchell. I specialize in caricatures. Been doing that for the past 20 years or so. Everything from theme parks to studio stuff to now tattooing. I've been tattooing for the past, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 years. So definitely trying to get more caricatures into my tattoos, and yeah.
Awesome. And then you learned to tattoo at Loose Street. You learned from Jesse, or want to talk a little bit about your transition from being straight up original artist to learning how to tattoo?
Well, I had a company called Zombie Caricatures, and we started doing tattoo conventions, and that's pretty much how I met Jesse and all those guys here in Virginia. As far as my mentor was Daniel Farron, and then he ended up leaving the shop, and then Jesse pretty much took over from there. But yeah, I apprenticed at Loose Screw with Jesse and those guys, and it's been a blast, a lot of fun. Bunch of art nerds running around doing art nerd stuff,
Awesome.
That's awesome. Oh, great. I like your little background that you have, all of your prints up there. That is awesome.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we just bought this house, just moved in, so I just had a chance to hang all this up finally and try to get more comfortable here.
Could you pick up your are you on your phone or?
I'm on my iPad right now. Yeah.
Right, but could you pick it up and slowly give us a little tour of some of the artwork there?
This place is messy still. Let me see if I can reverse this camera somehow. I don't know if you can do that.
Yeah, you can. Just touch your picture.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So a little messy right now. It's kind of dark, but you got a big old Jason Voorhees there.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And there's Bruce. And yeah, it's just kind of filled. The walls are, and his camera's not the best, and it's kind of dark in here.
Yeah, well, whatever's behind you that was looking pretty good, you could zoom into some of those paintings maybe.
Yes.
I'm digging the wallpaper.
Yeah, the wallpaper's
that's
awesome.
actual paint. Yeah, I painted that. That was extensive.
That's just beautiful.
Oh, that's killer, man. That's awesome.
Oh, what? Look at that eyeball.
Yeah, wallpaper was so expensive. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna make a stencil, grab some paint, and do it myself. And
there you
go.
Well, I just fucking was blown away by it. So that shit looks fly as hell.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I like that
That's
room,
awesome.
dog. I wish we could be in there because I see some sick portrait painting styles that look a little tough to see on this, but they look really good.
Yeah. Once I get this set
there you
up a little bit better. I have
See,
some
well,
zombies that-
you did pick the this is great. You pick like the one shot. Sometimes I do the same thing. I'm like, this whole place looks like shit except for this one shot.
Yeah,
And,
pretty much. Yeah.
But
Give
that's
us
cool.
Give us some credit, guys. We're artists, all right? We're allowed to be a little messy,
It's true.
Yeah. Absolutely.
especially in our studios. Not tattoo studios, but like our normal get art done studios. I mean, that's how I am. I don't see anyone else change. My machine shop is dirty like a motherfucker every other 2 weeks. So I'm like, God damn, I gotta clean and then I can start building again. Fuck. Drives me crazy.
Yeah,
But I'm
that's
not
awesome.
I'm not as bad as Mike and Aaron and all them. I clean a lot more than they do.
Yeah, great. Awesome. Well, Nick, are you like is your today your day off or you got some work going for you? What you doing today?
Yeah, today's the day off, but today I'll be taking care of the seminar and working on that. Last time I did a seminar was 2016, so I'm trying to revamp it, add new artwork, add more tattoos into it instead of just drawing caricatures and trying to make it more up to date. So I'll be doing that majority of the day today and drawing, of course, for upcoming appointments.
Are they
Yeah,
recording it?
that's
It
awesome.
only can be. I'm sorry, Kara.
No, you're good.
Is it gonna be recorded or live? Only live.
I think it's going to be both, right? It's going to be streaming.
What I say is, it definitely will be live. It should be recorded. If everyone sacrifices enough it's a dual god sacrifice, both to the tattoo gods and to the computer gods.
Absolutely.
So
What about
the answer to that is hopefully.
What about paid? You're not charging
That's
nothing?
awesome.
It is
Yeah,
like
yeah.
$100 or $125.
Oh, okay. Okay, good.
It's
That's
$100,
cool.
yeah.
That for you, that's really fair. Holy shit. Okay, solid. I got a busy day, so I'm not gonna be able to draw at you. I just wanted to check in because I haven't been able to get on, and just wanted to see who's on and what you guys are drawing. I gotta get going here and get ready. I got some errands to run, bank, and just today's my only day off. But I want to check in. I want to show you guys some stuff, and you guys are amazing. I'm glad I got to meet you. I haven't met all of you, and I'm sure by the time I get off, there'll be about 15 more people, and I'll be all bummed. But
Awesome. And how could people find you on the Instagrams? That stuff look great.
yeah, hey, well, I got Ricardo and stuff, but Nick, I hate this. You don't have a pen on you or anything because I don't have my Instagram right up. You want to take down my Instagram or whatever? I'll take yours down. I just don't have a pen on me.
I was saying, how do people get a hold of you on the Instagram before you go?
Super easy. I go by, you can go my full name, but just do Next, N-E-X-T, my graffiti name, and then nothing together, one word, Next 4207. And again, just like you see, I'm Tyler Next Cabrina.
Cool. Awesome.
Awesome.
Killer, man.
Thank you for joining.
Come out, man. Like I said, I try to be versatile. So I would appreciate every critique and opinion you can give me. I'm all for it.
That's
All
awesome,
day long.
dude. Killer.
Awesome.
Yeah,
It's the only way we grow.
Yep, you got it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank
Hey,
you.
Well, I know you guys the show starts at 9, so I can bother you a little bit more, but you guys want to see that one blue one I was talking about real quick?
Actually, if you have any questions for Nick, send them his way. But now that Nick's on, I think we're going to go around and maybe ask him some questions.
Yeah, you should. Absolutely. I'm sorry to keep cutting in like that.
No, it's okay.
good, man.
I think I definitely wanted to know how you developed your style because I think that's a lot of things that younger artists want to know is how you kind of transitioned into it. Did you have a style that you were into in the beginning of your career and now it's completely different?
It's altered.
You
Being that
anything like that, Nick?
Yeah, I think I started my career in caricatures. I started at Busch Gardens, Tampa, Florida. And I ended up going to one of the caricature conventions out there, and I, really got a feel for the industry, and certain styles that I really were drawn to were more the exaggerated, really pushed, type of caricatures. And to be honest, I learned like, most people. In order to learn, you got to figure out what you like, and then you start studying the masters, start breaking down their artwork, why they did what they did, and you start applying it to your own style. So, I mean, that's pretty much what I did. I picked a good handful of influences, like Sebastian Kruger. He's a big name in caricatures. Joe Bloom, Glenn Ferguson. There's a good handful, and I just started studying their work. And before you know it, just like we all have our own handwriting, we all have our own style. So you just kind of apply that to what you're doing, and it just develops. Then years later, Sean Gardner and we joined together and started doing the zombies, and we definitely learned a lot from each other. I've worked with him, I think, since 2003 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
And we've just been working together ever since. I mean, now he's up north. He works with Kelly Doty up at her shop. But we still keep in contact as much as we can, and still definitely look at each other's posts and push each other, trying to outdo the other one. I think we're each other's competition in a lot of ways, which is fun. It definitely keeps you going,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
great. You have like a healthy competition. Go ahead, Ricardo.
No, that's exactly what I was gonna say. You took the words right. Yeah, that's exactly it. It's cool. It's cool to be able to, it's cool to be able to have that. You know what I mean? Like, it pushes you in a positive way. It's not like some kind of it's not a negative thing, man. It's good to have that healthy competition, dude. And like, look what I did.
It's inspiration. You got to pull from, wherever you can. It's the only way you're going to progress, or you just hit that plateau and you stay stagnant. So you have to, secretly kind of pick those people that you want to compete with, and you just learn and grow and try to keep the art form going.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, caricatures, just like tattoos, it has evolved a lot in the past. I mean, since I've started, past 20 years. So it's interesting to see how it grows when other artists get into the mix and develop their own thing from it.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
that is cool. Jared, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask him a question about, like,
Go ahead.
with your own style of caricatures, would you say that lends from other art interests or other styles that you find interesting more so than other caricature artists? I mean, would you even define yourself as a caricature artist, or?
It's tough. I mean, I would say caricature artist and also new school. I mean, they go hand in hand. It's all exaggeration, that pull. But as far as pulling from other artists, especially when it comes to the zombies, when it comes to like the muscles and tears and stuff like that, you pull from Guy Aitchison, you pull from, bioorganic artists, and, some other, other fields like that, just trying to get some kind of texture of your own. And once you get that nice texture, you kind of branch out and do your own thing.
Yeah.
And also, as far as new school, like Jesse Smith and, Victor Chill and, artists like that do the nice, fun, cartoony, colorful type of stuff, you definitely want to pull from that as well. There's just so many influences that you can pull from when it comes to that kind of, well, I mean, anything, even portrait artists. I mean, if you want to have a little more of a realistic spin to your caricatures or your cartoons, get the correct light source and shading, you start pulling from portrait artists. Which I can't think of the guy's name right now. But when I do, I'll let you know. Sorry.
Okay. It's okay. I do that all the time, dude. Don't sweat it.
Like Celia Arts, is he one of the, like a realism kind of caricature? He does a lot of Celia. I don't know. There's, as you said, there's so many. I'd love seeing the illustrator types. I mean, there's two different types of people that get into tattooing. There's people that are like, 16 and fucking poking the holes because they just have to, and eventually get better at it and cover all that shit up. And learn art on the way, or in your case, it's like, having an illustration kind of career and then getting into tattooing. Have you seen any illustrators not make that transition over to tattooing, or like how dialed into the illustrator circle are you?
You mean, have I seen an artist like try to do the transition and not succeed? Is that what
Correct.
you mean? Or
yeah, correct. Or succeed. Like, so obviously Sean did. Do you know any others?
I mean, I can't say any names. I don't want to be like putting people under the bus, but I mean, there are.
Yeah, no. I'm not expecting, like, I don't know any names. I'm just wondering about the experiences.
Yeah, I mean, as far as my experience, I think it definitely helped having that background. It definitely made that learning, that transition a little bit easier. I mean, to where all you had to do now is just get used to the medium, get used to running a machine, get used to different skin types and how they react. And, and that comes with time and experience, but I think already knowing the style that I wanted to pursue, and already having that background, it definitely made it a little bit easier. Because I mean,
Are you like a
I can
people
imagine
person?
like a brand. Yes and no. I have pretty bad anxieties when it comes to big crowds, which is weird that I, to do public speaking. But I think the only reason I'm able to do that is because I've done it for so long. I mean, my whole entire career, Busch Gardens had a high turnover rate. So you're interviewing, hiring, and training new artists all year long. So I think since it's something that I already know, I could do that in front of a crowd. But a lot of times I'm at conventions, I'm not good in front of people like, big crowds, but one-on-ones, I can say I'm a people person for sure.
I think that's when the illustrators that don't make it over to tattooing, usually it's, they really appreciate being able to noodle on things at 2:00 in the morning on their own time. Whereas tattooing is very much, scheduling the appointments, you're with the person, it's pretty challenging, but it's awesome. I love seeing it happen successfully. So thanks for doing it. Hopefully other people follow. And I also love, when, people that don't know or are very young in their art career, have tattooers that are able to help teach them both art and tattooing kind of in the appropriate order at the right times, and guys also very keen on, again, just helping artists that are, very young in their career, as well as, illustrator types. It's great. I yield the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Sorry, what was
awesome. Yeah, sometimes getting used to the Zoom is quite difficult. It took quite some time, trust me. Even I was like, what button is where?
That's my troubles. Hey, Nick, do you mind if I ask you a question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Who did you end up apprenticing under back in the day?
As far as tattoos, it was Daniel Farron and also Jesse Smith. Yeah.
Oh, and you're under Jesse. I should have known that already. Fucking by your certain styles I've seen of yours, but shit, man, I had OG under biker style, like in Hawaii, like fuck. And like when we say inspirations and people we work with, those are our mentors. Those are the guys beyond our first teacher. Those are the guys we learn the most of. The other guys teach us the fundamentals, like our original mentors. Granted, hopefully you get one and you work hard and you know the fundamentals of being able to get involved into an apprenticeship. Anyways, but mine was like boot camp on crack, alcoholic, biker. Don't get me wrong, I take nothing back. He taught me a lot of shit, but it wasn't until I was working at like a Q shop and a lot of big other shops that I worked with really great coworkers, and just like you said, learned a shit ton by being able to sit there and ask questions and talk and learn those styles from them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool that you got to apprentice, especially under Jesse. Fuck, dude. I still haven't even got to meet Jesse. All these years of conventions and shit, I still haven't even met him. I'd love to.
Yeah. I think it was perfect because Jesse also back in the day worked for the same caricature company that I did. I'm not at the same time. He was a little bit before me, but he had the caricature background as well. So it definitely helped, when it came to learning how to apply it as a tattoo.
Took
time.
Definitely
helped. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
now look at Frank.
Awesome.
Oh, I'm sorry, sweetheart.
No,
like Frank Lantra, you know what I mean? Look at all of them, dog. I mean, the Unkindness crew, Kelly Dottie, like you said, I mean, they all have their own versions of the same style that Jesse kind of originated, but they're their own styles. I love it. And it's some of my favorite styles, like Tanani and his shit out in Virginia. Oh my God, I love Tanani stuff. It's so sick.
Yeah, it's great. It's the same thing with caricature artists too. It's like you can take one, victim, if you will, or client or whatever you want. I mean, we're making fun of them, and you can have
our job.
Different artists draw the same face, and it comes out completely different exaggerations, different push and pull, but it still looks exactly like that same person.
Right.
So it's kind of interesting, to see the same thing, like you said. Jesse kind of pioneered, the new school and helped bring that to the forefront, and then you have so many different artists taking their own spin and background and putting it into it and just coming up with something completely different. It's
more surrealism. It's turning into more surrealism to me. He went from neo-traditional cartoony, and what was taken from him to all these people that we've just talked about have all turned it into their own versions of surrealism, which are amazing. You know what I mean? But even Timmy and them, like Timmy B, he's like the ultimate surrealism type of cartoon. And
So sorry to interject. Does anybody else have any questions? For
yes,
Nick?
please.
This is we have him for a limited time, so we'd like to make sure that the discussion kind of gears back towards him.
Get back towards it. I'll shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I have a quick question. So you're talking about how you and Jesse were pretty much going from characters to tattoos. Do you want to point out a couple of similarities from, tattooing and doing characters? Because I know there's a lot of, and that's how I relate to tattooing is, taking the mediums that I know as my background and putting that towards tattooing. So since characters are part of your background, do you want to mention some things that are quite similar?
I think that the main thing that was similar was the line work. I come drawing live in a theme park, so I was using permanent markers to draw with. And the markers I used was a brush tip, so you have to have that distance between the paper and marker, so it's almost like your needle depth in a way. You push down harder. With a marker, you get a thicker line. Hold back, you get that nice thinner line from the brush. But it helps that those muscles with that depth. So when you're doing a tattoo, you can hold that position and keep that same line depth throughout the tattoo, without blowing anything else. I think it helps, with that transition. And not only that, but I used to do airbrush t-shirts as well. So when it came to doing airbrush and lettering and stuff like that, I was able to do lettering, for tattoos pretty easily, which helped me learn line work with tattooing faster. So when I first started tattooing, I made sure to book as many, lettering tattoos as I could just to get the line work and understand what I was doing with it.
You're on point, bud.
Yeah, that's an amazing thing, really, because I think having an art background in today's day and age of tattooing is much more acceptable. My boss, who I work with now, learned tattooing in the biker era, and he learned basically from, this is how you draw a panther, this is how you draw a rose, and he kind of just repeated those step-by-step processes throughout his career. And it's kind of cool that I'm there now and opening his eyes to what light source is, and having him choose his light source in his tattoo. And he's like, oh, I didn't think of it that way. So either way, it's always a great thing to learn artistically. And I just think that that's great that you were taking one medium and transferring over to tattooing. Joe's been pretty quiet here. I just wanted to say, did you have any questions to ask him?
No, I've just been absorbing.
Nothing wrong with that.
I've got one.
And
Go ahead, Melissa.
So is there any particular style that you haven't done that you would like to dabble into?
As far as tattooing goes, I pretty much still take on any tattoo that comes my way, and then I try to shove caricatures whenever I can. I think the only thing I haven't really done too much was black and gray portraits, like a realism portrait. I haven't done any of those. I've done animals, objects, and flowers and everything else, but I haven't done a black and gray portrait yet. So I think I want to start dabbling with that a little bit. Just because I want to get that softness down. When you work the skin, you get that nice smooth gradients, those soft grays. I want to play with that a little bit more.
That's awesome. Are you just gonna jump for it and find some clients, or do you practice on some, some friends? Just be like, hey, can I just do this for a day or two? Or do you really find the clients that are gonna help you out with that?
Probably find a client, I think. I mean, like I said, I've done left black and gray doing everything else that I just want to try things. But yeah, I'd probably find a client that wants a cool topic matter. I mean, somebody I can exaggerate, maybe gnarl up, and, make it look crazy, and then go from there.
That's awesome. Well, awesome. Cool. Does anybody else have any questions for Nick?
I don't think so, man.
Oh, wow.
So, Nick, do you want to do do you want to close out the show with a little bit of what people might be able to expect at the BYOB seminar / online webinar, and then maybe anything that they could do to prepare themselves ahead of time?
Okay, yeah, as far as the seminar goes, it's going to be Caricature 101. So we're going to be going over the basics, relationships, features, how to exaggerate, and I break everything down. This is a literal 101 class from everybody who's a beginning artist to veteran. I go over every feature, break it down shape by shape, line by line. I go over tattoo process a bit as well, a little bit of my digital process. So yeah, you got to make sure you bring some drawing materials with you. Whatever you want to use is fine, but I do plan on people drawing each other. You'll be drawing some photos that I put on the slideshow. So every time I break down a feature, you will be drawing eyeballs. If I break down noses, you will be drawing noses. And then I'll go around and critique as well. So yeah, make sure you have drawing materials and be prepared to have your face made fun of.
Sweet. I like the part of drawing everybody in the room, man. That's gonna be fun, dude.
Yeah, I'm not sure how COVID plays out. I mean, I'm assuming we all just sit 6 feet away from each other and just draw. I think it'll be fine. So.
Yeah, we have the rooms are very large. And
good.
And then and if people wanted to beam in, they could go to courses.reinventingthetattoo.com. There's all the BYOB webinars, and then there's if you go to paradisebyob.com, or you actually have your seminar up on your website too, right?
Yeah, I just have a link there to where they can purchase it, and then
why don't you? Did you already? I apologize if I missed it, but if you want to let people know how to get to your website and what they could find there, that'd be great.
Yes, it's Nick Mitchell Hates You. Let me make sure, because I mean, I've never, it's a newer store, so I'm going to make sure I have it here correctly. Give me 1 second, sorry.
Ruby.
Hey, you guys, I got.
Oh,
Of
It
course.
was really nice to meet you, Nick. It was really nice to meet you guys. I gotta dip out.
Take it easy,
Yeah,
bud.
pleasure.
It was
Man.
nice to meet you.
Nice meeting
Sorry,
you.
sorry
Nice
for
meeting you.
interrupting. I was just excited, so my bad
Yeah.
about that.
You're good, Tyler.
Just wanted to ask some questions that really wanted to ask Nick, but all of you guys, and Melissa's on mute, but you don't have to answer, Melissa. But please post that thing. I want to see that thing finished. That is beautiful. And honey, you've been great. Thank you for hosting the thing and taking over and letting us have a great conversation with Nick over here. And
Yeah,
wherever
of
the hell,
course.
freaking there he is. There's Ricardo. All right. Just make sure
Yeah,
you're still
dude.
there.
Yeah, man, I'm here.
And I never got to say hi to Joe. Joe, I'm Tyler. It's nice to meet you, brother.
Nice to meet you, man.
What are you working
Great,
on?
man.
I know they
Me?
gotta go. I know they gotta go, but do the thing. Oh, sick, dog. Fuck yeah. Hells yeah. That's fucking
It's different.
I like it. Yeah, that's what I'm all about. All right, you guys, I'll let you guys go and get to your thing. I wish I didn't have to leave. Watch recorded. Is there anything going on tonight?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we're
think the
good.
class is going on tonight, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, we're drawing the guy tonight.
Oh, okay, so guys, it's not a painting exercise, just a flash exercise.
No, actually, it will be. I think he's been trying to push people into painting some still lives. I know he's been doing this past months, like a bunch of oil paintings every day, like oil painting every day. And tonight he'll be doing a still life study, and he's been trying to get us to go with acrylics or oils, but he'd rather us do oil paints and stuff like that too. So
I know I'm an acrylic guy because we can turn it into oil now. Golden gives us thinners and reducers and open paint. But is he painting? Because I only have watercolor right now. I don't have any of my acrylics or oils, so I probably just sketch some flash out, I guess, and just be involved.
Yeah, come on through, man. It's fun.
Just crush up some berries. There you go.
Yeah,
That's the way to do it, honestly.
You know, you guys, I'm just gonna smoke a fat spliff and just watch you guys and harass you the whole time until you mute
There
me,
you go.
mute me.
There you go.
Until Kira over there just keeps muting me until she's like boots me out. You know what I mean? You talk
Other
about
website.
Porgy, so sorry guys. I talk, but it's all in good heart.
Sweet. Take it easy, bro.
All right, you guys, take it easy. Don't work too hard today. Have fun, and I'll see you guys hopefully later tonight.
Enjoy the day.
I will.
Yeah,
I got some shit to do. All right, you guys, have a great day.
Peace.
Good
Yeah.
one.
Peace.
Peace.
All right. Did we find your Instagram? I believe I pulled it up earlier.
Yeah, the Instagram is Nick Mitchell Hates You.
Okay.
The actual site is nickmitchellhatesyou.bigcartel.com.
Awesome.
And then you can purchase prints or the seminars there as well. And yeah, have fun.
Perfect. Okay, so usually we're just gonna to close out. We usually just go down the list here and have everybody say where they're from. You know, like first day of class, stand up, say 10 things nice about yourself or something. So we will start with Melissa. So Melissa, do you want to tell us how we can find you? We haven't seen you in a little bit, so we miss you very
I know, it's
much.
been a while. I'm not a morning person. I'm over in Oregon. You can find me on Instagram at MAC_MISSA. That's MacMissa. My shop is located out in Staten, Oregon, and finally reopened my books. So if you're interested and you're in the area and you want something medium to large, come on in. Sorry for the plug.
Perfect. And that looks beautiful. Definitely keep us updated with how that's going to be going. Okay.
For
Yeah,
sure.
looks great,
Thank you.
Melissa. Killer job.
And we're going to go with Joe. I didn't start with you first this time just to make you feel better.
I noticed. I noticed. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I always hate going first, even in school. It was horrible.
Well, you're going second, so.
I'm okay with this. Anyways, my name's Joseph McFarland. I work at a shop in West Virginia called Mountain State Tattoos. You can find me at mountainstatetattoos.com. And it's as simple as that. Go me.
Awesome. Okay. Then we have Ricardo. Go ahead, buddy. Don't
Hey,
forget
what's
to
up,
mention your
guys?
class.
Yeah, that was going to. Thank you. Always good to remind me for stuff like that. But my name is Ricardo Sertivant. I'm from Illinois. I work in a town called Normal, Illinois, which is ironic as hell. You can find me on Instagram at Candor Tattoo, at CANDOR Tattoo. I do host Tuesday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern drawing classes. We cover all kinds of topics. This month we're doing still lives and following with what Guy is doing. We're having a lot of fun with it. I like to relate my art with a lot of introspective kind of like looks on my own life and stuff like that, and how I relate the two together. So it's fun to sit down and talk about some of that stuff too. But yeah, it's been fun on here. Nick, nice to meet you, man. I look forward to meeting you at the BYOB. Yeah, sorry about that.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. Look forward to it.
Cool. Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. It'll be my first time up in that area. I know it's Kier's stomping grounds and Gabe's stomping grounds, so it'll be fun to kind of get the lowdown on the area as far as what all's happening out there with
All the
nature and all that
trees.
stuff. All the trees. We have some trees, but they're more like just little broccolis kind of spread out here in Illinois.
No, it's the fact. Okay, so I visited Illinois, and first half hour to 3 hours, I was complaining on the lack of trees there, and I was like, it's very flat. Like it's dust and stuff kicking up, and he's like, and I quote, "I have trees. You just have to drive to them."
Oh my God.
Well, yeah, we have state parks and stuff like that where they preserve those broccolis and everything like that. You know what I mean? But it's literally, it's the Midwest. It's the heartland of America. We feed a large portion of America and the world from this one location alone. You know what I mean? So not a lot of trees, but a lot of food.
Yeah. Now, when I send landscape pictures to the group chat, he's like, "What are those in the background? What is that?
What is that stuff?" Yeah, it looks
That's
like
awesome.
some Christmas decorations or some. Yeah.
All right, and for myself, hello everybody. My name is Kier Franklin, and I am the host for the Monday morning drawing groups at 9 a.m. Eastern time. I also host the Thursday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time, the fundamentals classes, where I basically teach basic fundamentals for art, tattooable images, and art all around. Last month we did anatomy with Guy, and this month, since both Ricardo and Guy are both doing still lifes, I thought it was a very good opportunity to really delve into the specifics of value and really teach the fundamentals of value. We've learned notan, we've learned about ambient occlusions and reflected lights, and this week we're going to almost start closing it out by learning the light family, which is central light, reflected light, and highlights. So we're going to be doing a whole segment on that. It's going to be so much fun. And once again, we will learn about the lightest dark is darker than the darkest light. And that will be for the millionth time explained.
It's like it's like, whoa, man, it just blew my mind.
I know it.
Jedi stuff.
Yeah.
But you can find me at Frankie Says Things on Instagram and Frankie Tattoos Things on Reinventing. I will be here every week and just beaming in. I can't wait to see everybody at Paradise. That's going to be more than plenty of fun. But with everything going on, this was a fun one, guys. This is when we kind of just start to close out and say goodbye to everybody. Good.
Adios. Thank you, Kira. Thank you, everybody. Kira.